The new GST 2.0 has come into effect from daybreak this morning. It's one of the most significant reform exercises undertaken since the launch of the goods and services tax more than 8 years ago. So the prices of essential commodities, whether it's milk or eggs or bread, are all coming down by anywhere between 2 to 3 rupees. The prices of white goods like air conditioners and refrigerators are coming down by 4 to 5,000 rupees. And for cars, particularly cars that are under 1200 cc, it can now go up to 20 to 35 or 40,000 rupees per unit. Yet there is major politics that's playing out between the centre and opposition parties as well as opposition-ruled states, some of whom are now asking for enhanced compensation. There's also a massive credit war that's going on between the Congress and the BJP as to who takes credit for finally getting the entire GST Council, which is a collection of both centre and states, to see the writing on the wall and that they needed to do something to reduce the pain, the economic pain that's being caused to the Aam Aadmi. But I want to first play out some of these political reactions. We'll also break down how this will now translate and whether the suppliers, the manufacturers will translate and transfer the cost benefit arising out of GST cuts to the consumer.
साथियों, आप साल 2014 के पहले के दिन याद करिए, कितनी सारी परेशानियां थी। महंगाई आसमान छू रही थी, चारों तरफ महा घोटाले हो रहे थे और तब की कांग्रेस सरकार जनता पर टैक्स का बोझ बढ़ाती ही जा रही थी और आम जरूरत की कई चीजों पर कांग्रेस की सरकार 30% से अधिक टैक्स लेती थी। बच्चों की टॉफी पर भी इतना टैक्स लगाया जाता था। हम इनकम टैक्स घटाते गए। इसी साल हमने, अब विचार कीजिए, 11 साल पहले 2 लाख, इसी साल हमने 12 लाख रुपए तक की वार्षिक आय पर इनकम टैक्स 0 कर दिया।
ये जो दर की कटौती हुई है, क्या हकीकत ये रहेगी कि ग्राहकों को उसका लाभ मिलेगा, उसका कुछ फायदा होगा, इससे निजी निवेश बढ़ेगा? ये सब सवाल उठते हैं। तो ये पूरा जीएसटी सुधार नहीं है, ये दूसरा अवतार नहीं है, ये 1.5वां अवतार है।
সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টের কোনো ক্রেডিট নেই। আমি এটা প্রথম দাবি করেছিলাম চিঠি লিখে, এবং আপনারা জানেন সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টের 1 পয়সাও এর জন্য খরচ হয়নি। সব টাকাটা গেছে রাজ্য সরকারের কোষাগার থেকে।
Especially in the background of this Bihar elections, this is nothing, just an eyewash, and these middle income groups and lower income groups were squeezed by this government during these years. Who introduced this scheme? This 5, 12, 18, 28 was instead of this government only.
Now, a major reason why the opposition is trying to claim credit for GST is because they claim that the idea of a goods and services tax was conceptualized during the UPA era. But in fact, it was in the year 2000, under then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, that an empowered committee of state finance ministers and EGOM was set up. And then in 2006, when the UPA was in power, then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram announced that there would be a goods and services tax across the country, the implementation of which would start from 2010. But then in 2010, President Pranab Mukherjee announced a delay in the GST implementation. In 2011, the GST bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha. It was referred to a standing committee of parliament. But for 3 years, from 2011 to 2014, nothing happened. GST could not be implemented. And then in 2014, of course, the Lok Sabha elections happen, the UPA is voted out of power, the NDA comes to power, and the GST bill, which was pending in that Lok Sabha, it expires because the bill was not brought before the House and was not voted upon. Finally, the bill was passed in the Lok Sabha and in the Rajya Sabha in 2016 under the Modi government, under Modi 1.0. The president then gives the assent, and in 2017, in July of 2017, the official nationwide rollout of the goods and services tax takes place. In 2025, the Prime Minister announced GST 2.0 or reforms in GST, promising to reduce the rates before Diwali. In September of 2025, the GST Council's 56th meeting, approved the landmark reforms, and today, those reforms, the GST 2.0, which is basically two slabs, 5% and 18%, from an effective 4 slabs, it's come down to 2 slabs. These two have come into effect starting today. Now, the consensus with states, between the center and the states, that was what was lacking, and that's why the UPA was not able to push through GST. There were many, at that time, BJP-ruled states which were concerned about compensation, as a result of which the UPA was simply incapable of pushing through GST. That the Union Home Minister now, Amit Shah, has highlighted during his exclusive conversation just last week with our editor-in-chief of News18 Network, Rahul Joshi, that it was the failure of the UPA to bring the then opposition-ruled states, the BJP-ruled states, on board and take care and address their concerns about reduced compensation, because had they done that, then GST would have been implemented in the UPA's time. Let's listen in to an excerpt from that interview.
जीएसटी की चर्चा कांग्रेस की सरकार थी तब से होती। कई बार कांग्रेस से गुमराह कर रही है कि ये तो हमारा आइडिया है। ठीक है भाई, आपका आइडिया है तो इंप्लीमेंट क्यों नहीं हुआ? राज्य विरोध करते थे। राज्य विरोध किस चीज का करते थे? सभी को मालूम था कि जीएसटी आने से राज्यों के रिसोर्सेस में एक प्रकार का रिजार्व होगा, कमी आएगी। वो कमी की भरपाई के लिए उस वक्त राज्य केंद्र से गारंटी मांगते, जो कांग्रेस ने नहीं दी, राज्यों ने सहमति नहीं दी और जीएसटी के रिफॉर्म नहीं हुए। नरेंद्र मोदी जी प्रधानमंत्री बने, उन्होंने ये गारंटी दे दी। राज्यों की ग्रोथ रेट से लगभग डबल ग्रोथ रेट टैक्स की होगी, इस प्रकार का संवैधानिक वादा किया और पूरा भी किया।
All right, I want to go across to a political face-off. RP Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. Saral Patel is Congress spokesperson. RP Singh, Mamata Banerjee, Jairam Ramesh, Priyanka Kakkar of Aam Aadmi Party, they're all saying, and I want to quote, how can centre claim credit alone? We were the ones who talked about GST to start with. Whether it is the reduced rates, whether it is, taking off GST on health insurance, etc. Jairam Ramesh says, ye to GST 2.0 nahi hai, this is GST 1.5. This is just 1.5 GST because you've not gone the whole hog. And now he's also asking, how will you ensure that the manufacturers, the producers pass on the benefits, pass on the price cuts to the ultimate beneficiary, which is the consumer?
Well, let's start with the last point which you raised, Jaka. And today is the first day of the, today is the first day of the GST Bachao Utsav, and because of the GST, there is a lot of cut in the prices countrywide. I went to my local grocery. I do my grocery on my own every month for information. So I went to my local grocery shop in Moti Nagar, and yes, the prices, he has cut down the prices, and he said we have reduced the prices of everything, right from the toothpaste to tooth powder to other items which are of the regular use at the household. But that point aside, issue is that if they want to claim, let them claim. And then they were part of the, whatever happened in 2014, they were part of it. And who were the majorities, governments in the country that time? The majority governments were of the Congress party that time when the first GST was implemented. And they, in the GST commission, the majority is of the states only. The center has a less voting rate than the states. So, but that point aside, fact is that they are not able to swallow this, that the consumer of the country or the common man of the country is going to get benefits. Okay. For them, it should be the same as it used to be, where toothpaste was levied at 27%, where tooth powder and everything was levied at 17%, where toffee was levied at 21%. And there used to be almost 30 taxes, including the state and the center taxes, put together 30 taxes which are implemented countrywide in various states, varying from state to state. But now it is just 2 taxes now, the 5% and 18%. But they can't take this, that, how this has happened and why this has happened.
Okay.
And ultimately, give me another second. And ultimately, it's going to benefit the country also, because more the consumption and then the more the manufacturing, you need more MSMEs to
cater to that. Okay.
To do
So,
that.
Saral
To do
Patel,
that.
the point is that you go to your local milk shop or you go to your local grocer, already you are seeing essential items being reduced by 2 rupees or 3 rupees. So, the effects of it are already being transferred. In fact, we had our reporters out today at car showrooms. Car showrooms are offering massive discounts of 20,000, 30,000, even 40,000 for some car models. So, to say that, we don't know if it will get passed on, it's already getting passed on. So the issue then is, why are you being so stingy with giving credit? You give credit to the center also, you give credit to the states also. Ultimately, the GST Council took this decision. The GST Council is a combination of center and states. So why are you being stingy with giving credit?
You are missing on
Zaka.
tractors and other
Let
agriculture.
Mr. Patel answer. Yeah, Mr. Patel.
Zaka, good evening to you, to your viewers, and to Mr. R.P. Singh. And Mr. R.P. Singh mentioned about, GST, Bachat Utsav and all that. So for 8 years, India suffered a GST loot Utsav. Now where the BJP has reduced its seats to 230 in 2024, that loot Utsav has been paused and Modi ji wants us to clap for a so-called GST Bachat Utsav. Let's not forget the facts. Who rolled out the disastrous 4-slab GST in 2017? It was Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Who opposed the GST tooth and nail when the UPA was in power? Gujarat CM Mr. Narendra Modi. So before BJP spokesperson starts lecturing us tonight, let them answer. Who is responsible for the flawed design that broke the back of MSMEs, traders and Indian middle class for 8 years? He mentioned about tooth powder and essential medicines and all of that. It is Mr. Modi who levied a tax on milk, curd, butter, food, clothes, and even insurance. So when they announced, so this happened for 8 years, and what did they announce yesterday? A so-called relief of 2.5 lakh crore. So if you do the division, it comes to 57 rupees per Indian per year, right? While government earns 40 rupees per every liter of petrol that people fill. So that's not a relief, that's a cruel joke. What is stopping the government from bringing
No, but Mr. Patel,
petrol and diesel?
Mr. Patel,
No. Let me complete.
What is stopping? One second. What is stopping the government? What is stopping the government?
Let me complete.
No, sir, hear me out. Come on.
No.
The
Let me complete. I will answer. Your question.
The reason why government is not bringing petrol and diesel, or even for that matter alcohol under GST, is because state governments don't want it. Maximum amount of revenue for state governments comes from VAT on petrol and diesel and on excise on alcohol. You tell your state governments that we are happy to bring petrol and diesel as well as alcohol under GST. The BJP will also agree.
Exactly.
So is Karnataka agreeing to it? Is Telangana agreeing to it?
When you ask me a question, please be patient enough.
I'm asking you a question. Please answer the question. Yes.
I'm not shooting and scooting.
Yeah.
Number one, as we saw at the beginning of the show, Mr. Amit Shah said that center has taken all the state governments under confidence. So it is the job of the union government to assure them that whatever revenue loss there might be from petrol and the excise on alcohol, etc., the states will be compensated for that. Center is refusing to do that. Why can't the center is not even releasing funds on time? So, and let me make the last point that I was making before you interrupted me. So let us be clear that this relief is not coming from the center's pocket. It is being cut from the state share also. And this proves that when Rahul Gandhi ji was saying that there should be one simple slab of GST, and now government has listened at least to a half-hearted message and bought it from four slabs to 2 slabs, along with claiming the credit that Mr. Modi claimed yesterday, he should have also apologized to the nation for topping this 4-slab GST on people for 8 long years.
RP saying 4-slab GST Rahul Gandhi has been raising since 2018-19. For the last 6 or 7 years, now you're finally listening to what he has been saying and you have made the corrective action. From 4-slab, it's come down to 2-slab. And 2, it is just like you hold the Congress responsible for not being able to get the opposition states on board. Congress is holding you responsible for not getting opposition states on board for diesel and petrol and for alcohol products into GST fold.
Zaka, as far compensation goes, the government promised the first 5 years of compensation, and government has paid every penny to the last. I mean, every penny has been paid to each and every state. Not a single state can say that any penny is pending as far as GST share is concerned. But coming to the issue, Rahul Gandhi said toothpaste and the 40 crore card should be put the same levy. I mean that's the idea of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, that 40 rupees toothpaste or 40 crore rupees car, they should be under the same levy. I mean, I'm sorry, he lives in a different world and he can enjoy his Lala world. But fact is, let's understand, whatever fund was generated from GST has not gone to anyone's pocket. It has gone to back to people only. And every penny has been spent on infrastructure. It was something like 60, and the initial gap between the collection and the before the GST and after the GST was paid by the central government. So the state government was not at loss at all. And also, I don't understand. One side he says, "Oh, it is the all state governments put together." Then he says, "No, it's the center who's taking the call." I mean, you can't have two words or two sentences or two ideas at the same time. I mean,
Okay.
fact is that all state governments are on board, and every state government finance minister is on board, and they sit together and finalize everything. And I
Okay.
appreciate. Let their chief minister, let their finance minister give this in writing that they are prepared. And I'm telling you, I'll follow this up with the government, that they are prepared to get alcohol and the petrol and diesel under or petroleum products under GST. Let
Okay.
the state government
So,
give in
so,
writing.
so Saral Patel, the point is compensation center is saying it's willing to give. The GST council, states and center agreed that they'll bring it down to 18 and 5. Now my point is, this has happened, right? Why are you saying, oh, it should have happened earlier, it's 8 years too late? Ho gaya,
Why?
matlab it's done, it's done now.
No.
At least, no, is it not done? Is 2 slab GST not a reality from today morning?
It is too little and 8 years late. The government had the chance to do it much earlier. They failed to do so. Now, coming back to few points Mr. R.P. Singh raised.
Sir, how
He
is
said
it too
that-
little? Two
No,
and a half lakh crores is 1% of total GDP.
Zakat, I just gave you the math. It's 57 rupees per Indian per year. Is it not too little?
No, but
Number one.
two and a
Number two.
half lakh
Number
crores
two.
is 1% of your GDP. You're saying that 1% of
I would-
GDP
I
being
would-
translated
I would-
into savings
I would
for Indians
appreciate-
is
I would
not good enough.
I would appreciate the same courtesy that you extend to my friend from BJP of not interrupting me while I'm making my points. Whatever your follow-up questions
Okay.
may be, I am happy to answer them. So Mr. R.P. Singh claimed that it is Rahul Gandhi's idea that 40 crore car and 4 rupee toothpaste should be taxed on the same slab. No, there is something called sin tax. There are 183 countries where GST is implemented, and all 183 countries, except India and one more, all the other countries have a single GST slab. So are they doing injustice to their people? No. So which kind of economic logic is this? There is
What
something
is the
called sin
population?
tax, which is levied on all the expensive items, be it alcohol, be it luxurious cars, yachts, private jets, and so on and so forth. Number two. Number three, how is it not too little too late? It is a reform that entire opposition was saying since day one, that this fourth slab will be disastrous for our economy. It is a fact. It has broken the back of MSMEs. It has broken the back of the MSMEs through
Sir, if
fourth
it's
slab
broken
and
the back of MSMEs,
demonetization.
how is India grown
And-
at 7.8% last quarter? Fastest growing large economy in the world, 7.8%. MSMEs
Zaka,
back is broken.
The growing economies don't cut taxes. When the growth slows, only then the government cuts the tax. So that's the basic of the economics. So both numbers
Okay,
don't match.
anyway,
If the
okay.
economy is growing,
I have to add
then why are
something to
they
this very
reducing
small
tax?
point, Zaka.
Yeah, well, I
That's
mean,
a very small point.
even when GST was introduced in 2017, India was still the fastest growing large economy. Now, when they are cutting GST also, it is the fastest growing large economy. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Mr. Patel and Mr. Singh, for joining us. We'll also, if at some point, try and get some time in the show, we'll try and get you some ground reports of our reporters. who were out there, speaking to car showroom dealers, to milk booth vendors, etc., on how they are translating GST out into the consumer.